Welcome to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. Don't know how to stop this thing. There it is. Hey, there we go. Figured out how to stop it. All right, boys, we're live on Facebook and YouTube here.
Nailed the dismount.
How you doing, Eric?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm good. I know Josh is doing good over there. And Eric, thanks for keeping it PG-13 on here. Yep.
Did I?
Okay. It's okay. We're just
I'll try
to.
to.
They have
Label in,
yeah.
bud. Label in.
All right.
There's two labels.
Eric, I know you have notes and I have notes. Is Josh coming in here like the lady who's getting the Supreme Court nod? Is he coming in with no notes?
No notes, boys. Oh, also, well,
I barely have
the funny
any
thing
too,
is,
so.
I rolled up on my neighbors tonight, and assuming that I had already met them because my kids just went up to their kids. I had never met these people before in my life. I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? Never met them before.
That's you. You're a social butterfly.
Well, they just took it too. They were cool about it. They were just like, oh, hey, what's going on?
Weird.
It was. We hung out for like 2 hours. It was crazy. It was a good time.
So we have a lot. I don't know if you guys know this. We have a lot of fantasy news to talk about this week.
Yeah, we
I'm a
do.
big deal.
There's players getting signed. There's players getting cut. Oh, it's the same player. But hey, it's very, very important, and it has a lot of fantasy impact. A lot.
It's a big one.
Josh's boy might be Dunsky.
He's not done, but it's not good.
It's not good.
The committee? Question mark?
It's not good especially for PPR in my mind, but we'll get to that in a moment.
But before we get into this empty wagon, as you can see if you're watching this video, in the top right-hand side there, you got the Fantasy Sports Alliance. Yeah, mirrored screen throws me off every time too, guys.
Oh my God.
Nope.
Josh,
Nope.
I was gonna. You know what? Since we're kind of fumbling and bumbling through this first show, and I want to talk about the Fantasy Sports Alliance, I think we should make Brian come up here and show off his beautiful.
Yeah, let's get the boss in here.
Talk about. He might as well plug himself in here. You know what I'm saying?
There he is.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Thanks for putting me on the spot. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's how we roll.
Hey, man, so you know what? Since you did this to me, this would be great. Let's put that right over Brad's head right there then. So since he's going to bring me into this thing then too. Yeah,
boys.
Hey, this is awesome. How are you guys?
Good, bud.
I can't wait till we get more practice with this. We can figure out.
I know, right?
I'm just loving how late it is where you live and how not late it is where we live. I feel for you, bud. I appreciate you.
This is only going to happen on Fridays and Saturdays. If you're asking me to do this Saturday or Sunday into Monday when I actually have to go to work, that's not happening. So we got to figure this out before then.
We appreciate you, bud. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. So what's up? What are we talking about?
We want you to talk about FSA.
FSA, let's see.
You're going to do your own plug right now.
27 years of operation. We have 144 teams this year, 72 in redraft, 48 in dynasty, and 24 in the QB54 arm and leg league. I mean, if you're not already a part of any of those, why not? Like, you should be here already. So, and if you're not and you're listening to it now because you're a fan of Empty Wagon because these guys are awesome, then make sure that you put us on the calendar so you can join next year. We will be expanding for probably another dynasty. That way we can get Eric in on it next year. Since he decided he was going to dip out, we got to get Josh back over into the redraft. Probably don't make that face. You're coming back. The Mojave Thundercats, yeah, they're coming back. We're probably going to make some changes to the arm and leg league. And then probably some slight changes to the scoring system under the redraft league maybe for next year as well. But expansion. We're going to max out MFL. We're going to do 100 teams in redraft, 100 teams in the arm and leg league, and whatever it takes to do on the dynasty to be able to get us there. So, and we're going to get there. You know what? I'm going to take that off your head, man. And we're going to get there because the Empty Wagon guys are going to help us get there. So, and we love you and we appreciate you guys. So.
Oh, we appreciate everything you do. And I do want to plug the football darts because they are the broadcast sponsor. And I always feel like I don't do them enough justice because you always have the great saying for the football darts. What is it you say? It's the strategy of football with the skill of darts.
How about you keep talking for just a couple seconds among yourselves, and then I'll make sure that I get that stuff up for you. How about It's a dart game that combines the skills of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dartboard. Unlike traditional British darts, American football darts is a game that combines both the skill of darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgate events, as league tournaments, or as a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you would like to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com.
Yeah,
And you can also check them out now online at Target and Wayfair to be able to get those. And I know Josh is trying to get that Auburn board out there. Why, I have no idea. But, I mean, it's out there.
War Eagle.
Terrible.
I
Yeah.
don't think that's
All
fair.
right,
But,
Thank you, Brian, for jumping on there. I know you weren't ready for that, and you were like, come on, man. Really? You didn't even make 3 minutes of the show. But you got the fans up. We went from 2 to 4 just from your face. I'm just saying.
I can't believe there are 4 people that are still awake at this time of night. That's what I'm talking about. Sean says the whole crew is here.
yeah, Sean. All
All
right.
right, well, we do have a lot of other stuff here with the Empty Wagon tonight. We even have we usually don't do this on Fridays, but we have a game. I came up with a nice little, a little Among Us. We got to find out who in the top 10 of each position is a little sus. And for you guys that don't know out there, that's a little Among Us. Who's the imposter?
All the kids say that.
They're so sus.
You don't play? Come on, man.
No,
you
I
don't
don't.
play
I don't. I'm
That's
an
a little
adult.
sus. Is what
You
I'm
can
gonna
play it
say.
on mobile.
I had to ask. Does sus mean suspect? Because I'm not a kid.
It does. It does. But
does.
it's really
Mhm.
that's
All
a lot tonight, man. All right. So heroes and villains tonight. We got the who's among us in the top 10, and then we got our streaming defenses like always. And we'll see how we hit with these.
I'm gonna nail
Unlike
it.
most shows, we didn't do a pregame show here, so we're
We
rolling
did
in
not.
hot, doing it live.
Hey, let me tell you what I'm going to do for y'all. So the heroes and villains, after you guys finish tonight and when everybody else is having breakfast tomorrow, we're going to produce the new graphic for your heroes and villains, very similar to what we did last year for you all. But we're going to have one each for each one of you. I'm going to figure out a way to put your Twitter handles on there to make you guys even more accountable for what you normally put out for your info, right? So then after the weekend happens and we see how good or bad you all were with your predictions.
Don't like that.
If you guys were good, we're going to leave that player in a 4-color image. And if you guys got that player wrong, I'm going to change them black and white. And I'm going to repost those pictures. That way everybody can start following their favorite empty wagon guy as far as their heroes and villains.
I don't
Nice.
see. I feel like we're a little more Fox News, a respectful news organization.
Maybe we'll wait for the black and white until after week 2. How about that?
Well, we could go now. I don't care.
All right.
I'm crushing it.
I've made many mistakes in my life, and this is one.
All right.
All right, so let's talk about the news. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah,
We're gonna
I'm
get
out of here,
into
guys.
talk.
I'll be right
If you
here
want to jump in and
back
just
for
call
you.
us dumb, you can. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, boys, let's get into this. Let's talk about Le'Veon Bell.
You just cut Ryan off.
Yeah, we're out.
That's so rude.
We're 9 minutes into the show. All right,
All right.
Le'Veon Bell, biggest news of the week.
We'll fix it in post.
Maybe. So Le'Veon Bell's out, right, as the Jets, which he he's leaving Adam Gase, which is, we know anything. That makes you an amazing player.
That makes you
Ryan
good again.
Tannehill.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill, MVP.
Ryan Tannehill. Jamal Adams.
Jamison Crowder will be a Hall of Famer as soon as he leaves him.
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's pretty decent now.
Well,
So-
he was one of the players that got better with Adam Gase.
Yeah.
Strange enough.
So
Well, when you're the only option.
then the rumors came out where he's going to sign with Josh. I saw you on the FSA show talking about where you thought he might land.
Yeah.
As my cat just keeps trying to go into the cabinets. Cat hasn't moved all day, and she decides to move. But so you thought he might go to Chicago, or you were like maybe the Rams. I didn't really hear anybody say the Chiefs, though.
Well, it had been speculated. It just didn't make sense. I mean, there was some speculation about it happening, but to me, it was like, why would the Chiefs even need him? Their offense is good. They're firing all cylinders. Why would he even want to go to the Chiefs? He's not going to get any work. Well, I was wrong. Clearly, the Chiefs thought it was a good fit. The money didn't matter, as we all know, because he was guaranteed $6 million no matter what, even with the offsetting money that was happening there. And to me, the fantasy ramifications are what is really important here. Okay, we're just gonna play with all this right now. The
Yeah,
fantasy
dude.
ramifications. So to me, the biggest beneficiary is obviously Patty Mahomes. The biggest negative here will be to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And what I think is going to happen is that Clyde will still be the first and second down back. Unfortunately, that means Le'Veon will be the third down back. And I also think he's bigger than Clyde. He'll probably end up being the goal line back as well. So in fantasy, in standard, it might be okay to have Clyde, but really you're seeing a first-round pick lose a lot of value here with Le'Veon. He's not going to play this weekend. I don't think he's going to play this weekend, but next weekend for sure. And it's really going to hurt Clyde. It's going to hurt him a lot this year.
Yeah. And I think what's amazing is they get Le'Veon Bell for $1 million with $1 million in bonus.
Yep.
So the max that the Chiefs will have to pay him this year is $2 million.
Maybe.
The max. That is the max they will have to pay him.
Yeah.
That's perfect for them.
Have you guys seen the meme? Did you guys see the meme where it's
where he's Thanos?
Yeah,
Where Pat
Mahomes
Mahomes is Thanos? Yeah, and he's got it's like Kelsey's one, and then Tyreek Hill.
Oh
yeah.
Like
because they're not wrong.
I mean, everybody says that the Patriots are the ones out here just – I don't like my face being this big. It's weird. But the Patriots are the ones that always make these kind of moves. But this was a good move.
It was
a great move.
Yeah.
And we remember last year what happened with LaShawn McCoy going there, right? And how much work he got. He got a lot of work. And we'll say Le'Veon Bell's a lot better than LaShawn McCoy.
Oh, yeah. He's still in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, I don't know if he's prime, but he's still closer to his prime than McCoy.
He's at the tail end of his prime, but he's still in his prime.
I disagree with you boys. You got to understand, he was with Adam Gase. Adam Gase. We don't know if Le'Veon's still in his prime or not. He could be on the up and up, and we just don't know because Adam Gase sees talent and he runs from it. He has no clue what to do with talented players.
Ryan's just very upset that Adam Gase is still a Jet. He's making some gestures down there.
It is kind of crazy.
It's his coach. It's his team.
So, Josh, you don't think Le'Veon Bell plays this week?
No, he's not going to play this week. Come on, dude. Why would he play? He's got to clear COVID protocols before anything else. He's not going to play this week.
Okay, we'll see.
Next
I mean,
question.
When he plays, when he is active, if he's on your team, you starting him every week?
Yes. Right now, until we know otherwise, I don't. Like I said, I think he's going to get the goal line work, and I think he's going to get the passing work. So,
are you starting
CEH?
CEH?
In standard, I think he's a flex right now. Until we, yeah. And in PPR, I don't. Maybe a flex as well, but I really don't want to start him in PPR.
Yeah, it's a little nerve wracking. I'm not gonna lie, but
it's not good. I think he's going to be a la Sony Michel, and then Le'Veon Bell will be James White.
Okay, maybe. I think Le'Veon Bell's a little bit better than that, but
no. But I'm saying as far as the roles,
if you have to, do you start both? If you have to, because every game's out because of COVID,
we actually have a guy in our dynasty league who has Lev Bell and CEH, and I think there is some potential that he's going to have to start both of them. So, yeah, I think
sell Bell.
Yeah, it's not good. And buy CEH in dynasty for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't, I would wait a couple weeks. I would wait a couple weeks for the bottom to fall out.
I have a feeling everybody that's drafted him is not going to.
Oh, I believe it's 100%. I believe it's 100% one or done for CEH right now.
So Kevin Godwin asked
for Bell. Yeah, you want to read it?
Yeah. So Kevin asked our buddy Kevin from Average Bros. He said, "Do you think this is a one and done? Just a teaching moment for CH having a vet like Bell?" I do think it's a one and done. I think Le'Veon Bell wants to show what he has to offer other teams, and he's going to go out there and try and get some more money next year because the Chiefs aren't going to offer him that much money. They still have. Yeah, they have too much money that they owe Patrick Mahomes. They owe him $500 million friggin' dollars. So I don't think so. Yeah, there's a lot of money that's going to be coming on the books next year for them. But I do think it's going to be a good opportunity for him. And CH is going to develop into a much better back. And let's not forget, next year they'll probably have the Williams brothers back as well. So I'm not sweating it too much. I think it'll be good. CH will come back into the season next year as the lead back. Okay.
So you definitely have cap room issues, right?
No,
they will. No, they don't right now.
Kansas City, the Houston Rockets. There are teams out there in these leagues that know how to work the salary cap.
The Rams.
It's a myth to them. They just keep like, this money goes here, and we'll move this money there. And even the Patriots do it. They were
It's
hey, Aaron Hernandez's money, he's dead. Can we get off that? Can we get off that?
And they got out of it this year. But the Rams, they're playing Madden with
We're
the
talking about me
salary
keeping
cap off.
PG.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say they're bad. I'm being honest. That's what
Yeah.
they did.
That's
They-
factual. It's not.
Yeah, that they got out of that deal.
No, they
this
did.
year.
You're 100% right. I don't think we need to take
Antonio
his
Brown. They
away.
said, "Hey, this guy's kind
We're
of
not-
crazy. Can we get
we're
that
not-
money back too?"
Yeah, they made it work, bud. Cleared up that money for Cam Newton and still didn't pay him. Boom.
Let's move on to some more fantasy news. Dalvin Cook is out this week.
Yep.
Dalvin Cook is out. Oh, hey, there's my sister.
Get out of here.
That's my sister.
She's actually very nice. I've met her. She's very nice.
Yeah. And I'm turning red now because I don't know what to talk about. Oh, Dalvin Cook.
Aw.
Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin Cook is out
Okay.
and Madison is in.
He sure is.
Man, I can't wait. So, and
Eric, I'm
this is
so glad
important.
you dropped Madison in Dynasty. Sorry.
So Mike Zimmer even came out and said, because they asked him, said, how do things change as far as the offense goes this week? And he said, I'm not going to change a thing.
He doesn't
So
need to.
he has the complete same amount of confidence in Alexander Madison that he did in Dalvin Cook, which is a good sign. It means that Alexander Madison is probably going to come in this week, especially considering their opponent, and come in and win you a week. I love it. I think you should start him in every league that you have him. I absolutely love him. This is, I mean, you probably, if you had Dalvin Cook, you probably tried to handcuff him with Alexander Madison anyway, based on his previous injury histories. And it's going to pay off for you big this week. He's going to win you a week. The bye's next week, and then Cook will be back.
Yeah. So the Fantasy Sports Alliance asks, how bad is Cook? I still haven't looked or heard. I think it's just a this week thing.
Yeah.
Because I
It's
think he
this
was
week to
questionable.
get him through the bye week, to get him to, they just don't want him to aggravate it anymore than it already is.
And you never know when your bye week's going to get taken away from you in the NFL this year. I mean, that's not a
Right.
joke this year. You don't know.
You never
Melvin
know when you're
Gordon-
going to punch a teammate.
To segue into another thing, Melvin Gordon had to practice all through his bye week. Wanted to let loose a little bit and let a little too loose and got a DUI charge.
He sure did. What an idiot. Good job, LA. Good job.
Do you guys think? And Melvin Gordon's not practicing either. So do you think he plays this week?
I don't care if he plays.
Well, do you think? Okay, do you think this game happens since the Patriots are just all about the COVID cases?
As of right now, it's scheduled to play. They're scheduled to play, so they have to anticipate that they're going to. I hope they hold him out for disciplinary reasons, but if they do, and you play Philip Lindsay, don't expect much.
It's the Patriots defense. Drew Lock might be back. Can we say something? How the Patriots know how to
wouldn't
work? Bill Belichick knows every rule there is. He told Gilmore to go get COVID so they could get Cam back in time. Let's be honest. That's what happened. Because now Cam's off the list. Gilmore's both off the list, and they got their bye week when they wanted it.
We're playing chess, not checkers, boys. Okay.
Apparently,
Yeah.
He saw what happened between Stidham and Hoyer, and he's like, not again. Not doing that again.
Nope.
Gonna fix
There's
that.
Kevin with Drew Lock is the starter this week. Yeah, he's back. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It can't.
yeah, I'm not too worried about Drew Lock.
It can't be worse.
I know Josh is like he's the great white hope for Josh, but he's not.
He's all we got.
He really is all you have. And then Joe
You got-
Flacco, of course, you let him go, and he looked great with the Jets. So whatever.
You got gripping and ripping.
Oh, don't.
You do have
don't.
Mark Rippon's nephew, so
Yeah.
nephew. right?
So yeah.
I don't know.
So
what he
gripping
is.
and ripping's out there. Whatever. Lock. It's the Patriots defense. Gilmore's back. I'm not telling you any of that. What other big news do you guys want to talk about? Really, that's the biggest news. Sam Darnold's doubtful, so Joe Flacco's playing for the Jets.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
all right.
exactly. I don't know if it's better or worse. Oh, hey,
Hi,
more
Mary.
people here. Good old MJ's there.
Hey, I just want to add something to the Le'Veon Bell stuff real quick. So
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree, it's a one and done. He'll get paid somewhere else next year. So the Chiefs run a zone blocking scheme, which is very similar to probably what they ran in Pittsburgh. So if he picks that scheme up pretty quickly and he looks as good as he did behind the Pittsburgh offensive line, because you can't stack the box. So I think he'll look great. I think he'll be fantastic this year for the remainder of the season. He'll probably get a ring with him, and he'll get paid because he's only 28. He's technically in his physical prime. So I think he's going to have a great year with them.
And I think the best news, let's not go negative. 2020 has been all about negative and players that are out. Let's talk about Julio Jones and Chris Godwin. Neither one of them are on the injury report.
Yay.
which is nice. I mean, Chris Godwin, the 2 games that he's played, he has been great.
Yeah, he's very
Problem
good.
is he's only played 2 games.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Well, Chris Godwin's going to play this week. I don't know if Julio's going to play, but
He doesn't have an injury designation. He's been full participant in practice.
If he plays, you have to play him. You have to put him in your starting lineup. The same thing with Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams is clearing the injury report as well, and he's going to play. So I think these are guys that you have to fire up and put in your lineups.
Do you think
Do you
think the owners of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers look over at the Falcons and have deja vu because there's 2 of their past head coaches are there right now running that franchise straight into the ground? Raheem Morris and Dirk Cutter.
Yeah, we actually talked about this on Wednesday with FSA.
You did.
And it is funny because I was looking, I knew that Dirk Cutter was the coach of the Bucs, and I was like, was it Raheem Morris coach of the Bucs? And I had to research it. And I researched it, and I was like, oh my gosh, these guys know how to destroy a team. So there's no hope on Atlanta this year. I hope that you enjoyed your Super Bowl run that you blew a couple of years ago, because this year you're not going anywhere and you're going there fast. So have fun with that. Unfortunately, I do think the offense will be better.
Whoa.
Yeah, FSA says Julio riding the pine this week, just like Josh Allen. He's dead to me.
Wow. All right. Well,
You're sitting Josh Allen? Oh boy.
there's that. No, Josh Allen hurt Brian real bad last week.
We'll get into that.
I get it, but like
we'll get into that with the Chiefs.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Let's get into this game. We'll do this really fast.
Let's do it.
Who is sus out here? We're going to go through the top 10 at each position.
You are.
The only caveat I have to this is that in the top 10 of quarterbacks, I took Dak out because I wasn't going to be that
He was
honest with
going to
it.
be my sus.
Yeah, I know. I took Dak out. I was like, so it's 11 quarterbacks, which actually gets Lamar Jackson in there. So let's get into this. Number 1 is Russell Wilson. Number 2 is Patrick Mahomes. Number 3 is Josh Allen. 4 is Kyler Murray. 5, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
No, Rodgers is above him, right?
Rodgers? No, Rodgers had a bye.
Oh,
And
okay.
it pushed him down.
Yeah, Fitzmagic is 6.
Yep. Brady. Deshaun Watson. Rodgers is 8 because of the bye. That's the only reason he got knocked down.
Okay.
Jared Goff, and then Lamar Jackson, thanks to Dak. I guess thanks to Dak being out, he falls right into the top 10 here. This is off Fantasy Pros.
Right.
So who out of this list is sus? I think there's an easy answer, but I think there's a right answer.
So I know the easy answer everyone would say would probably be Ryan Fitzmagic. I'm not going to go with that. I honestly think the sus, as you want to say, is Lamar Jackson.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. He's had some stinkers. He has.
Guys.
Well,
he's
stinkers
not
for him.
He's not running the way that he did last year. So he's not right. I don't care what you say. Look at that. Boom. Kevin agrees. Out of those teams, Lamar, boom. So he's not right, guys. He's not running the way that you saw what happened this past Sunday. He didn't run. And he was on the injury report with the knee. He hasn't been phenomenal this year, especially for where you drafted him. I think Lamar Jackson, he's sus, boys. He is very sus.
Okay. You take the guy that's 11 out of 10 as you're not in the top 10 sus. Got it.
Well,
Clever.
it was too easy to pick Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, come on.
It is too easy. I think it's Tom Brady, honestly. I want to see what Tom Brady does down the stretch. He's usually one of the quarterbacks. I know it's going to stay warm in Tampa, not like New England's was super cold, so maybe he keeps going, but we've seen him fall off towards the end of the season. And I think Tom Brady's one of those guys that will fall from being the number 6 quarterback right now and will fall out of the top 10, probably to 12, 13, 14 range, which is hard to say with those, but if he quits throwing the ball like Jameis Winston, throwing pick sixes and stuff.
All right.
Whew. Eric, who are you going with? You're going easy, aren't you?
No, I'm going to go with Watson on this.
What?
I'm going to go with Watson. I think he's only really benefited because the defense has been bad and he's had to throw it a ton. He's got no good receivers. Will Ferrell, come on. He's your only QB left there in Dynasty, bud.
Hold on.
No, I have the red rifle. Whoa.
$65.
You want Goff? He's a first round pick. First round pick for Goff. Just saying.
No, it's not worth it. Second
Okay.
rounder. I've offered it twice.
You won't get it.
Anyway.
Deshaun Watson, 9 touchdowns, 5 picks already on the season. Yeah, he's going to get garbage time points, but he has not looked nearly what he has in the past without DeAndre Hopkins.
Bro, did you see what happened whenever Bill O'Brien got fired? D-Watt was unleashed, bro. Unleashed.
It's Romeo Crennel. How did he do as head coach? Not very good.
Hold on.
He did some stuff.
Josh.
Yeah, like lose.
When Eric says somebody is going to be bad, they're going to be great. So Deshaun Watson
sometimes that does happen. That's true.
MVP season. You're right. Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. We'll see if Will Fuller goes down.
Put some respect on his name. He's the 5th, bro.
Yeah. All right, let's get into running backs. Let's get into running backs here. Who is sus? Number 1, Alvin Kamara. Number 2 is Dalvin Cook. A little banged up. We got Zeke at 3, Aaron Jones, Chris Carson, Josh Jacobs, Mike Davis, Kareem Hunt, Robinson, and Mixon.
You want to go first, Josh?
No, go ahead, bud. Go ahead.
Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
It's Mike Davis, okay? He's the sus here. He's
been fantastic in the work that he's been given. He's been great.
As soon as McCaffrey comes back, he's done.
But he is. But I mean, if you're playing him, he's been great for you.
Yeah. So. But I'm just saying, rest of the season, he's not going to be there.
Neither's Joe Mixon. So he's the only guy on that list except for Josh Jacobs below 4 yards a carry. And he does not necessarily get the volume that Josh Jacobs gets on a weekly basis. So
he's getting it now, though.
We'll see if that holds up.
We'll see. Okay.
I don't trust it.
I'm gonna go with Chris Carson.
Ooh.
I think that when Rashad Penny comes back this week, is Chris Carson's like pushing through to get to these games. Right now, he is banged up. You say whatever you want, but he's probably over there taking those freaking Tyrod Taylor shots, and he just hasn't had a punctured lung yet. So I think he's banged up, and whenever Rashad Penny comes back, he's going to take that job, boys. He's a better back. Chris Carson is phenomenal. He's phenomenal. I'm not arguing that. He's a great player. But I think out of these guys, I'm not going to take Mike Davis because we know whenever Christian McCaffrey comes back, he's going to be out. Joe Mixon hasn't lived up to the hype yet. To me, Chris Carson is the next best option, and I think he has been suspect for sure.
Yeah, and I think the thing with Chris Carson, too, if you want to go to this, he's getting a lot of work in the passing, which hasn't really been his strong suit. He's been okay at it, but most of his touchdowns are receiving touchdowns right now. I think people forget that. He's got a lot of receiving touchdowns, which usually wasn't a thing with him.
Oklahoma State.
All right, wide receivers. Who's sus? We got Nuke at number 1.
No way.
We got Thielen. Thielen at number 2.
That's sus.
We got Ridley at 3.
Super sus.
DK at 4.
Solid.
Diggs at 5.
Hate
Hill
it.
at 6.
Good.
Robbie Anderson is your number 7 wide receiver right now.
Hate it with a passion.
Adam Gase, baby. You leave Adam Gase, you become great again. Amari Cooper at 8. Allen Robinson is at 9. And Lockett's at 10. I just want to say something. I did not plan for both the Robinsons to be at 9 at wide receiver and running back. It just happened to fall that way.
It does work like that sometimes.
Who's sus?
Let me just throw that CeeDee Lamb is 11, boys. My guy.
Yeah, he is
11.
No, he's good. He's very good.
My boy. Sorry,
We'll see how he is with the red rifle.
Yeah, not as good.
Hey, TJ Who's Your Mama was good with the red rifle, wasn't he?
TJ Houshmandzadeh? Yeah, he was.
He was serviceable.
Him and Chad Johnson were good that year. Or 2 years.
For me, the guy who I think is suspect out of all of these guys, it's got to be Adam Thielen. I don't know how Adam Thielen is second, other than the fact that he scored twice last week. That probably boosted him up a little bit. Kirk Cousins has been bad. Kirk Cousins is still going to be good this week, and we'll get to that later when I do my heroes and villains. But Adam Thielen, we know what happens with Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen. He has a good half season. Turns out right now that this is just the first half. So I'm assuming second half he'll drop off.
Good chance.
And yeah, there's a solid chance. I'd say like a 90%. And it's going to be the Justin Jefferson show. So right now, I'm going to say he's suspect.
This
The whole list.
Would you have drafted half this list with your one receiver?
No.
Nuke, Hill, Cooper, Robinson. Those are the only four I would have taken with my number one wide receiver.
Running back, quarterback.
Yeah, there's been some things that have happened. Keenan Allen was looking really solid before the injury last week. But anyway,
Do you guys know who's sus on this list? You said Thielen. It's his old running mate, Diggs.
Okay.
A lot of big plays. I don't think Josh Allen's consistency he had in the beginning, he beat up on some bad teams.
That's fair.
He's going to have to play better teams.
Okay.
And we saw what happened to him on Tuesday night when Tennessee said, we'll play deep, beat us short, bud.
He couldn't.
Check down to Cole Beasley. You won't do it. Even the touchdown pass he had to TJ Yeldon, he rifled that thing in there between three people.
Sure did. My boy.
So, all I'm saying is I love Diggs, but he's a wide receiver too. He's not a wide receiver one.
And he has been a wide receiver too.
I would agree.
Yeah. Eric?
I got to go with Amari Cooper. He just hasn't looked good this year.
He's a self-loathing Cowboy fan.
You're damn right I am.
All right.
He has the lowest yards per reception out of anybody on this list. He's only got one touchdown. He doesn't get separation. I don't know. He hasn't looked right. And now he's got to catch passes from Andy Dalton. He's cooked. So we'll see. They're going to feed Zeke probably. I don't think he'll get a ton of work after this point in the season now. So he's sus to me.
Okay. Those are good answers. I mean, you guys are wrong, but they're good answers. Let's go. You guys thought the wide receiver list was sus? We're doing tight ends.
That's the whole thing is suspect.
This is going to
all 10 suspect.
Outside of the top 3 suspect.
So number one is Kelsey. Number one is Kelsey, which is every year you just said it.
Shocking,
Kelsey,
right?
Number one.
Yeah.
Number 2, Waller. 3, Andrews.
Okay.
Now here's where it gets a little sus, boys. Jonnu Smith at number 4.
All right. He's only played 4 games. All right.
Robert Tonyan at number 5.
That
couple of 3 tutter games right there.
Yeah, Robert Tonyan, not good. He's not even a tight end.
Yes, he is. That's what he plays there. Mike Gesicki is coming in at 6.
That's solid. That's my boy.
Jimmy, I don't know where my hair went. Graham. I miss Drew Brees at number 7. George Kittle's at 8. Noah Fant is at 9. And Hunter Henry's at 10.
Barely.
Well, he is.
Yeah, but barely.
He's played every game he's been in, so that's what it takes to make.
That's amazing for him. Yeah,
I like that George Kittle missed 2 weeks and he's still in the top 10. And I also like the fact
he's
that
a monster.
Jonnu Smith has, pretty much barely played. Yes.
Yeah. For me, it's easy. It's Robert Tonyan. I don't think that he is worthy of this spot. He had one good game, and he should not be here. But tight end is so suspect altogether. Outside of the top 3, anyone. I mean, you could take a guy like Eric Ebron, and he could shoot into the top 10 this week with a couple of touchdowns. So, Robert Tonyan, suspect. He will not finish in the top 10, guaranteed.
Tight end premium. What is that this year? Yeah.
That's what it is but that's why you play tight end premium, is to make these
then worth something. Yeah. That's why you go. That's why you take Darren Waller in like the 4th or 5th round, or Kelsey at the turn on the first and second. So
how's that Zach Ertz working out for you boys?
Yeah, real bad. He's almost in the top 12, almost.
But we just said this whole list is sus, and he can't even make it top 5.
He can't even crack the top 10, right?
Not good, boys.
I'm gonna go with Noah Fant.
Why? Because he's beat up and banged up.
He's banged up. He's banged up. Drew Lock is Drew Lock. And now if they don't have Melvin Gordon, they don't have a running game to speak of. They'll just sit back on those guys in zone and just read Drew Lock all day. I don't think Fant finishes in the top 10.
I'll trade for Noah Fant right now. I'll do it.
Go for it. I don't think he's a top 10 guy. Henry's pretty sus too, because he hasn't been hurt yet, but because he always gets hurt. Hunter Henry always gets hurt.
Hunter Henry finally has him a quarterback.
He does that. He does indeed. I
love Justin Herbert.
I regret not thinking better of him during drafts this past
It's
year.
because he looks like a kid who just hit puberty. Okay.
He looks like a baby deer under center. He gets the snap under center and takes like a 5-step drop, and he's all wobbly and crazy looking.
I agree 100%. Like, I wasn't high on him either, but man, has he proved me wrong. Justin Herbert has come out and he's played some phenomenal football. I mean, he had a bad year his senior year at Oregon. He should have came out as a junior and he would have been drafted even higher. Probably been the number 1 overall pick. But man, did he really turn things around?
Over Dwayne Haskins?
Yeah, over him, over Kyler Murray. Yeah, he would have been that good. His junior season was that good at Oregon, but
in his senior season, his wide receivers led the nation in drops.
Yeah,
he had the most drop passes.
Yeah,
Kevin said Fant's a tough call with no QB being sus. Yep. That's part of the equation, though. You have to account for it. So I think, especially with the stable of backups they have.
Stable.
Yeah, you have to have several because both of them are bad.
But like a whole stable?
Like a whole bunch.
All right. What's next, boys?
You guys ready? You guys ready for everybody's favorite segment? It's the reason we have 3 people still watching us after 6 minutes of BS in here. It's heroes and villains. It's time to get in these games. And we might overlap a little bit here because, like I said, no pre-show.
We had no pre-show.
Yep. We jumped in. Somebody's computer was restarting right at start time. So it just happens this way.
Doesn't matter. I'll make it work.
All right.
That guy.
Let's start at the QB position here. And Josh, I think me and you might be having similar wavelengths. So I'll let you go start with your hero quarterback.
Well, I actually text you guys what my heroes and villains were earlier.
Oh, you did?
Actually, I did.
I never got that.
For you. I didn't see that at all.
My hero quarterback is Kirk McGurk. That's right, boys. Kirk Cousins. He's going to ball out this week, boys. Let's be honest. He hasn't been great this year. But
he's never great any year.
Well, I think this week against the worst defense against quarterbacks in the entire NFL for fantasy at the Atlanta Falcons, Kirk Cousins is going to have a great game, boys. I understand that right now he's currently 25th in quarterbacks, but the Atlanta Falcons are a cure-all. Their team is in turmoil. They're 0-5. Their defensive coordinator, who's terrible, Raheem Morris, is going to lead the team. You can't make this up. And
they made him the head coach, so they get a new defensive coordinator in to fix the defense.
Yeah, of course.
The GM needs to fix the defense. Needs to give him some talent on that side of the ball.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The Falcons are absolutely terrible, guys. They're letting up 30.5 points per game to quarterbacks. That's 5 points more than the second place team, which is Seattle. Well, you all know how terrible they are against quarterbacks. So I think that you need to fire Kirk Cousins up, especially in 2 QB leagues. You're going to fire him up, but this week against the Falcons, it's a mix for disaster. I expect a big game out of Thielen, and I expect a big game out of Justin Jefferson. Maybe even a little Irv Smith action. I know. Let's calm down and not get too ahead of ourselves. But yeah, boys. Google it. Falcons are terrible, and they're going to have to play keep up. Could be a shootout. Anyway, that's my guy, Kirk McGurk. Eric, what do you got?
My hero this week is going to be Matty Stafford. So he's currently QB 22. He hasn't impressed like we thought he was going to do coming back off of that injury-riddled season last year. I thought he was going to be a lot better. Unfortunately, he hasn't really showed up. They're playing the Jaguars this week. The Jaguars are the 25th best team against quarterbacks, or the, 7th worst? No, 7th best. I always screw that up. They're bad against quarterbacks. They give up an average of 24 points every game to quarterbacks. So I think Matty Stafford's going to have a good game. Kenny G should be all the way back now. I think they'll be good. They just came off the bye. I think they'll be ready to have positive game script, and they'll get some early touchdowns there.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah. And my guy was going to be Kirk Cousins. And it's not a pretty pick, but it is what it is.
It's not. But yeah.
But you know who? If I can't take him, it's Andy Dalton. I think Andy Dalton's a top 10 play this week.
Yeah, my guy.
Wow. Really?
Dude, the Monday night quarterback showdown we wanted, the red rifle.
What we wanted,
Kyler Murray.
We wanted.
It's what everybody wanted. It's what Monday Night Football was like. Yes, we got the Cowboys and we got the Cardinals. We got Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, Amari Cooper, Zeke, and Dak.
CD Lamb, my boy.
Did you see they already I could see when they did the Monday night preview stuff that they had to move and put Zeke in the picture instead because they had Dak versus Kyler as the little picture for that, and then he got hurt and it was like
R.I.P.
We can't put Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, I think he's just got some weapons. He's gonna get some first team reps, and he'll dump it off to Zeke if he doesn't know what to do. And he's got
Thank
all the
God. Please do.
Oh yeah,
carry my team, Zeke. Carry my team.
Throw it.
All right. And I just want to see Andy Dalton in my picture for this Heroes and Villains. That's really why I'm picking him now. I want to see that hair. Beautiful.
He just that red hair up in the middle.
Oh,
it's just such a nice faux hawk. Yeah, it's just
glowing.
Yeah.
My boy.
Right. Villain quarterback. I'm going to go because I want to see Brian get fired up right now. I'm going Josh Allen.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's been amazing. Right? But this week, his matchup ain't much better than what it was last year, right? It's Kansas City.
Brian said he's dead to me.
Do we need to start the list again?
Kansas City's going to do what Kansas City does. They're going to play smart defense. They have pass rushers. They can keep him in the pocket. I believe that they can put pressure on him. They have no running game there. Devin Singletary is non-existent. They rely on Josh Allen's big arm, and I think Kansas City's going to play back. They got their starting cornerback back last week, and people underestimate that. They stopped Lamar Jackson, and I think Lamar Jackson is a better passer than Josh Allen.
He is.
And he's a better runner than Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So if they can stop him,
I don't know how much, but
I'm pretty sure they can game script it up, look at Tennessee and be like, you guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this, and this is what you gave us. So Josh Allen this week is my villain.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City's going to score a lot. They're just going to get after him. He's going to poop to bed.
Poop in the bed. What a child.
Josh Allen is the Bills' RB1. Yeah.
He is the Bills' RB1.
He is.
But the Bills' RB1 ain't nothing good. I mean, Fitzmagic was the Dolphins' RB1 last year.
Oh, well, that's true.
Hey, Eric, who do you have at who do you have your villain quarterback?
Aaron.
Okay, starting Rodgers this week. Got it.
Playing the Bucks. Very stingy against quarterbacks. They're the fourth best team against quarterbacks. They only give up an average of 15 fantasy points a game to quarterbacks. I think Devontae Adams probably gets hurt again because he's always got soft tissue crap.
He was ready to play the last time, and they said no.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean he doesn't re-aggravate the injury going hard against this Tampa Bay defense. So,
oh come on, get out of here.
We'll see what happens. I don't like it. I think he's.
I don't like it. All right.
Josh, who's your villain quarterback?
It's Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy B is going against the Chicago Bears. Unfortunately, that's not very good considering they have shut down Matt Stafford, Matt Ryan, Phil Rivers, and Tom Brady was okay, but he only threw for 208 yards. I don't like Teddy Bridgewater all this week. He's been great so far. The Panthers are 3-2. They've been playing very well. Unfortunately, he's going up against the Bears, and they just shut quarterbacks down. I think you need to pull Teddy B out of your lineup if you have him in there. He's a QB2 maybe this week, but it's not good, boys. It's not good. Teddy B, pull him. Pull him.
Yeah, he had a great week last week, but it was a good matchup, like you said.
Yeah. Pull him.
So I just want to say MJ brought up she lost her week because Ryan and Burrow. I feel you. Matt Ryan's been letting me down. Matt Ryan's been hurting people.
Yeah, he has.
All right, Eric, let's go to the more fun position. Running back hero.
Running back hero, Rojo.
Ooh,
give me some Rojo stock this week. So they are playing. Who is Tampa playing this week? Green Bay. Green Bay.
Green Bay. Yeah.
I know that. I knew that. Kind of, sort of. So they are tied for dead last in fantasy points allowed to running backs on average each week with the Lions at 27. So fire up Rojo because he's getting plenty of work. I don't know
about Fournette playing. I think you were going to say that.
I do a little bit, but he's banged up. So we'll see if he's all the way back. But I think Rojo has done enough to earn the lion's share of the carries and third down work. So I like Rojo this week. Fire him up.
I too almost went with Rojo. I decided to go with the same game that I just went with, and I really like David Montgomery this week. The Carolina Panthers are the worst team against running backs so far in fantasy this year, allowing 31.7 points per game, and they've allowed the most, or they've allowed 563 rushing yards, but 8 tutters to running backs. I know David Montgomery is better than what they had with Jordan Howard. He can catch the ball a little bit better. They've allowed 43 receptions to running backs so far, the Panthers have. David Montgomery, I think this is a nice little bounce back week for him. I'm going to start him this week.
See, you guys have great picks, but Myles Gaskin, okay, the number one running back on the
gas man.
Dolphins.
Very nice.
They're playing the Jets, okay? That's really all you need to say is they're playing the Jets.
That is true.
And I got a feeling if they can do what they did to the Niners against the Jets, I think there's a good chance there. If Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't throw the game away in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then Myles Gaskin can just run all over the place. I mean, he had 57 yards and a touchdown last week with 5 receptions. You give me 5 receptions from Myles Gaskin and a touchdown, I'm happy. That's a great fill-in running back if you're worried about some of these other running backs with bad matchups and just Dalvin Cook went down for you and somebody else already snatched up Madison. I'm just saying. Bunch of bye weeks. Alvin Kamara's out this week.
Ugh. That is true. He is. Hurts
there you go,
bad.
Brian. There's your pick of Rojo in our group chat, bud.
Is he catching a football? He can't do that. He can't catch a football.
Sure he can.
All right, villain running back. Josh, you go.
Well, this one was a tough one for me, boys. I decided to go with Joe Mixon. The Bengals are playing the Colts. The Bengals are playing the Colts. They've been phenomenal on defense thus far. The only thing that's been holding the Colts back has been Phillip Rivers. Unfortunately, it's true. It's true. Sorry, you say whatever you want, but it's factual.
It's true. He's not really much of an upgrade over Brissett. Let's be real.
The Colts are the 5th best team against running backs thus far, only allowing 15.7 points per game. They've only allowed 366 yards rushing and 1 rushing touchdown all season. The Colts are going to be great. Joe Mixon, let's be honest, he hasn't really lived up to expectations so far, and he's certainly not going to do it this week. I feel bad, but I think you need to have Joe Mixon out of your lineup if you have a better option this week.
Okay. Eric, who do you have at the running back position?
James Conner.
What are you kidding me, dude? Are you the Terminator?
The what? Nobody calls him that.
Well, that's what I call him.
Okay.
The Browns are surprisingly good against the run. They're the 10th best team against running backs this year. So giving up 15 fantasy points a game. And if anybody will go walk up to the line and audible to a pass play just because he feels like slinging it, it's Big Ben. Deontay Johnson's hurt, but with the emergence of Chase Claypool and Juju still being there, and they have a decent tight end now, and James Washington is still there as well, I think they're just going to throw it like crazy. So
I wouldn't like crazy. All right, my villain.
He'll throw it no matter what.
Get out of here.
Sorry, Brad.
No, you're good. My villain is Todd Gurley. He had a great week last week for Todd Gurley. But like you said, Minnesota, they're going to get up a lot. And we've seen the game script where they're just like, let's not let Todd Gurley. Let's just not let Todd Gurley play. Let's save him. I don't know what Atlanta's saving him for because they ain't making the playoffs.
Right. Todd needs those good games to get paid.
You can't even trade him. But Todd Gurley this week is a guy I don't want to play if you have other options. Probably don't have any other options this week. All these guys we talked about, you're probably playing.
Yeah, sell high on him if you can.
No, MJ said she's benching Mixon. That's what I'm talking about.
Probably a good play.
Yeah, he's a trash can. No, Gurley. I think Gurley's going to be good this week, boys.
I think Gurley's a sell high candidate. I think you should get rid of him now.
I think
coming off that big game.
You beat Minnesota through the air. You don't beat them on the ground.
Well, we'll see what happens.
All right, wide receiver position. I'm going first. Hero. It ties in with Josh's hero, Kirk Cousins. If you're going to have a big game, who do you go to on Minnesota? Justin Jefferson. You're dang right, Justin Jefferson. I think Thielen will draw most of whatever Atlanta calls coverage. I don't know what they really call coverage. I think it's called running to the end zone behind a guy. But hey, Justin Jefferson, he's my hero this week at the wide receiver position. I feel another big game from him. Ever since his 30-point game, he's very, very much used in this offense. He gets overshadowed by what Thielen did last week. I think he's still taking the number one spot away from Thielen.
Okay.
By the end of the year.
Right. Okay.
Eric, who you got?
For hero wide receiver, Julian Edelman.
Jules.
The Broncos are surprisingly bad. They're in the bottom third of the league against wide receivers this year, giving up an average of 26 fantasy points a game to wide receivers, and Julian Edelman is really the only guy there. And Cam's back, so the last time that they were both together, Julian Edelman looked pretty good, so I'm going to say fire up Julian Edelman this week.
And he's got Cam.
He's got Cam.
Woo!
He might not get a touchdown, but he might have like 17 catches for like 200 yards, so just good enough in PPR.
Hero wide receiver.
I know what you're thinking. This doesn't sound like a hero because he's a big name, but he hasn't been great for fantasy in the past few years. I'm going to go with Odell Beckham Jr.
I thought you were going to say AJ Green.
No, AJ Green is trash. I'm going with Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. is going against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are allowing 37 points per game against wide receivers. Believe it or not, boys, that's fourth worst in the entire NFL. Now, there are no Seattle Seahawks, which are straight trash, 49 points per game. But it's not good. OBJ, I actually believe he's going to have a good game. And I know it's hard to predict because the Browns like to run the ball a lot. But they're going to have to beat the Steelers through the air. They know that the Browns are going to run it. They know this. They know that Kareem Hunt's going to get the ball a lot. And OBJ is going to be the beneficiary here. I believe you can firmly insert Odell Beckham Jr. in your lineups and feel good about it. Brad, you are an OBJ truther.
Over here.
Yeah, you love him.
It is.
It's so weird with a mirroring.
He's right there. He's right there.
You love him, and I think that you should put him in your lineup. And tell me if I'm wrong, Brad. Tell me. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh, no, I start Odell even in bad matchups because I love him. But I do have something to say. You brought up AJ Green. All I want to say is Mark Sessler from around the NFL had a great conspiracy theory. He said that AJ Green is getting paid $40,000 under the table by Bill Belichick to ham injuries and just be really bad. That way he gets either released or traded to the Patriots. So it's
all part of the plan.
I wouldn't put it past him.
That was funny.
So Kevin asked, did you guys see Kevin's question?
Yep.
Starter sit Landry. What do you guys think?
I don't feel good about Landry this week.
He had the case of the dropsies last week. Baker is supposedly throwing the ball well. The shoulder and the ribs aren't bad. Brian's looking at his clock because he wants to go to bed. And we're running longer.
Don't blame him.
Brian, head out, bud. Get out of
I'm just
here.
kidding. I'm just messing with him.
I can't see him, but if you want to leave, bud, we got it, I think. Maybe.
I'm just messing with him. So that's all that.
I got one of them fancy watches now. It doesn't just tell time. It tells me when I get text messages now, too. So that's what I was looking at. I stay here all night and listen to you guys.
Okay. All right.
Kevin,
so
and he just cuts him out again.
I didn't do it. Go ahead.
Kevin, I think you're good. I think you're good to start Jarvis Landry this week. I think they're going to have to throw. I don't think they're going to be able to run very effectively against Pittsburgh's defense, even with Hunt. So,
and we've talked about it.
They're going to have to throw.
Are on a bye. Saints are on a bye.
Yeah, a lot of good receivers are on buys this week. So
if you don't want to trust Julio,
which you shouldn't.
and Devontae Adams is hamstrings. I don't trust those.
He's fine, dude. Why you always got to hate on Devontae?
Would you start? Hey, this one goes out to for the people out there listening. Chase Claypool or Jarvis Landry this week?
Claypool.
Ooh.
Claypool, 100%.
Okay.
Wait. If you need 10 points, Jarvis Landry. If you need a boom guy, go with Chase Claypool.
No,
because he could get you 0.
He could get you 0, but he could drop a 40 spot too.
No, he's going to drop a 50 burger this week.
It's a biscuit. Okay, you're the number one player in FSA right now. Don't go soft on me.
Hey, I drafted Claypool in 2 dynasty leagues, but I'm sitting pretty on receivers right now. I'm good, but
okay.
We'll see no Waller and no Russell this week. It's going to be interesting to say the least, and no Dalvin Cook. Sadly, my team's falling apart.
Wide receiver villains. That's where we're at, right? I lost track with AJ Green.
We are. Yeah, we did wide receiver heroes. Yep.
Villains. I'll start this off. Ties right in with Josh Allen. It's Stephon Diggs. He's a villain this week. I think the Chiefs are going to shadow coverage to him. And they are going to make sure to take his number one weapon out and say, check down to Cole Beasley like we talked about. And if you can take Diggs out, Diggs maybe 10 points this week. Maybe 10.
I like it. What do I have? Oh.
I don't know what's going on. Josh is getting in trouble. You got to go?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Who you got a villain, Eric?
Devontae Adams.
Oh, get out of here.
You're such a hater, dude. Quit being a hater.
Hey, when he's sitting on the sideline in the second half because he re-aggravated whatever injury he's got, or he gets a concussion, I don't like it. Devontae Adams.
Hater, dude.
I was going to go with Allen Robinson, and I was like, I can't do my boy like that. So, Devontae Adams. I'm taking Devontae this week. Bucks are good against the pass, man. They're good. Like a solid defense.
Okay, whatever. Josh, give me a real villain wide receiver here.
Wow.
Give me somebody you would actually bench. You're not. If Adams is healthy, you're starting him.
Yeah, you're going to start him, but he's still not going to be good this week.
So, you guys all know about how he had a good week last week against them boys. Darius Slayton. He's going to go up against the Washington football team. It's so weird to say that. Anyway, the Washington football team, and believe it or not, Washington football team.
The WFT, if you're looking on the banner, really threw me off.
They're the third best team against running backs with against wide receivers with 23.3 points per game. They're actually pretty good. They've only allowed 2 touchdowns all season against wide receivers.
You know, last time Daniel Jones threw a touchdown pass?
Well, potato or tomato, boys. I think it's something that you need to anticipate. And if you were thinking about putting Darius Slayton in your lineup, I don't know if I trust him this week. The Washington football team's pretty good. It's not. God, I hate saying that. I want to say Redskins so much. They're pretty good against wide receivers, and Darius Slayton is not someone I really want to start this week.
War Eagle.
I'm with you on that one, Josh, but it's usually because they're up. So most teams are up on Washington and they're running the ball. So
yeah,
you calm down.
Daniel Jones' last touchdown pass was week 1 when he threw 2 of them. He has not thrown a touchdown pass since then.
Sad.
Boom.
I think
more
this
slump,
week,
Danny Dimes.
Yeah. I wanted to go with him as a hero, but I couldn't do it.
God, I hope they retool their offensive line in the offseason, but whatever.
All right. And that's all the villain wide receivers because Eric went crazy with that thing. Eric, give me your hero tight end.
My hero tight end? Trey Burton. Come on down, buddy. Trey Watch. So
it's back. Bring it back.
He is getting the most routes run and snaps of all the Indianapolis tight ends right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
number 2 in targets for the last 2 weeks.
There you go. Number 2 in targets for last week. Thank you, Brad, for helping me make my case. You got to play him. Phil Rivers can't throw the ball. He can't throw it anywhere. He could throw it over the middle directly in front of him. You saw that out route the other day he threw, had no zip, got taken to the house. He can't throw anywhere else but right in front of him. So slot receiver, whoever that may be, and our boy, Trey Burton. Fire him up.
It has been very bad. I'm not going to argue with that. I don't like it either.
0 zip.
All right, Josh, who's your hero tight end?
So as much as I don't like Darius Slayton this week, I do kind of want to start Evan Ingram. That's right, boys. I'm gonna start Evan Ingram.
Oh my God. I got it.
That's right. I'm going to start Evan Ingram. The Washington football team is the third worst team against tight ends. And I think, yeah, that's true. That's true. I know Evan Ingram has been a bit of a disappointment this week. I know because I traded a first-round pick for him.
He's been a disappointment in multiple years.
No, come on. Get out of here.
Last year? Why do you think I traded him to you for a first-round pick?
He was injured last year. Get out of here. Anyway.
Same thing. That's the same thing.
Anyway, he hasn't quite lived up to expectations. I understand that. But I think this week he's going to be a nice play against the Washington football teams. Daniel Jones is bad. Let's be honest. He's bad. But they found a little bit of a running game with Devontae Freeman last week against them boys. And I think that Evan Ingram is going to get open. I mean, Darius Slayton's going to be covered like a wet blanket.
Check down. He's going to get rushed. Yeah. He's going to check it down to the tight end.
Yes, absolutely. Evan Ingram is my guy. Brad. Now that
Evan Ingram was going to be my guy, but I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get the little phlegm out of my throat, and I'm going to go with TJ Hawkinson. Okay, we're going to hawk it out. Playing Jacksonville. We've already talked about it once about Jacksonville. They don't have a good defense. Even the only good defensive players they have left are like, man, we're hurt. Can we just say we're hurt, please? We know what this season's about. Okay, Minshew's trying to mess up the tank for Trevor, but that team's trying to make it happen, okay? So give me some Hawkinson. That was a good one. Marvin Jones is lost out there running routes. He doesn't even know where the ball's at when it's coming his way. Galladay's good. Peterson ain't getting a ball thrown his way.
He can't get it.
He's out this week, isn't he?
Peterson? No. AP's good all day?
All day AP. I think AP's good. I think it's carry on that's out. His knees will.
Well, he's definitely out.
He's probably out.
Okay, but that's my pick. There is TJ Hawkinson. Nobody wanted to go Jimmy Graham. Nobody wanted to go Jimmy Graham.
Nah, I'm ready to do my villain, boys.
Now, let's hear your villain.
Okay, so even though they had a bye week last week, surprise bye week last
Robert
week.
Tonyan is my villain tight end this week.
Mine too.
Devontae Adams is back.
Noah Fant against the Patriots. The Patriots are the third best team against tight ends. Yeah, he's playing. They're only allowing 6.7 points per game against tight ends. That's not very good. So I'm going to go with Noah Fant. He's been a little banged up. I think that he's going to hurt your team this week more than he's going to help it. And I think that you should sit Noah Fant. The Patriots are going to take him away. They don't have a Cortland Sutton. They're probably not going to have a Melvin Gordon this week because of the illness and the Dewey. So Noah Fant should be sat in all of your lineups.
Mm-mm. There you go.
Okay. Hurts.
To say. I thought you were going Robert Tonyan. That's why I stole it from you. And that's why.
No, come on.
It's all because Devontae Adams is back. And that's where all the touchdowns are going. Rodgers is going to be like, oh, I'm so happy you're back. Let me just drop some touchdowns to you. Here's about 3 to 4 to 5 of them. We got to get you back up in these wide receiver rankings.
Just dropping them in there.
He's like, I listen to Empty Wagon. They didn't bring you up enough in the wide receiver rankings. We need to get you up there.
That's probably what it is. I don't blame you.
You're definitely not sus.
Don't. You're too old to say that. You can't say that.
My grades don't show up that bad in this camera.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Eric, did I steal your villain?
Yeah, I had Tonyan too. But for the sake of time and not watching me fumble over trying to find somebody else, I'm just going to stick with Tonyan. So fire up all your Packers this week because they'll probably kill it.
Yeah, Eric's picking them. You know it's not good.
That works.
All right, streaming defenses. I got three.
Yeah,
I'll let you boys go first.
I got a couple as well.
First.
All right, Eric, go ahead.
So my first one is Miami.
Okay,
fire up Miami. 47% owned. They are the number 9 defense in PPR. That consensus ownership is between Yahoo and ESPN leagues. So you should be able to go get them. Fire them up.
LaMarcus P. Ryan running all over them, or Frank Gore looking like 1996 Frank Gore.
They literally have the best matchup you can get out there, and they're number 9 anyway. So go get them. They don't score you a ton of points, but they won't get you negative points probably against the Jets. So
they probably won't.
Josh, who do you got?
Well, I'm gonna have to go with the Dolphins.
That's
No,
who
the
Eric
Dolphins
just-
have what? Yeah, that's but I don't have a choice. That's
Oh,
who
okay.
I picked as well. I thought we were
Oh,
doing
I
this
could have
one.
went with somebody else. So
I
should
got
let you go first.
All right, you know what? Fine. I'll pick someone else. Since you guys want to play this whole game. I'll go with the Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to be playing the Cowboys. Cardinals have been
Red
decent
Rifle.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going against the Red Rifle. I expect them to throw at least one interception. I think the Cardinals are going to be a decent play, even though it's Monday Night Football. I think you insert them into their lineup, and they're going to be just fine for you this week. I'm expecting one interception, probably a fumble recovery, maybe even a defensive touchdown. So start them Cardinals and see what happens. All right, Brad, go ahead. Since
I'm going with the Washington football team.
That's fair.
Daniel
Nice.
Jones is a turnover machine, and that front seven with Chase Young back is going to feast.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to.
And if you want another one, you can go the other side of the ball, and you can say the Giants as bad as they are. Kyle Allen, Alex Smith, Dwayne Haskins, you just throw a guy out there, and they're just bad. Kyle Allen had 73 yards passing. Alex Smith had 34 last week. It wasn't good.
It was ugly. Yep, definitely. Throw to Antonio Gibson, please. I'll add one more before we go. Chicago, 74% owned, number 11 defense. Go get them.
Yeah, that's fair.
They should be good this week. Against who are they playing again?
They're playing against the Panthers. Come on, the
Panthers, yeah.
Ready to be.
They'll be good. They'll be
Google
fine.
it.
Go get them, Khalil
All right.
Mack.
Pew-pew.
All right, is that it? Is that it? Any other news you want to talk about?
I got nothing.
I got nothing either.
All right.
Kevin, you got anything you want to say? You want to plug the average bros?
Bring them in.
He's like, I'm good. All right, Josh, send us home then.
Thanks for tuning in to Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. You can find Brad at Tack Jones on Twitter. Eric is going to be at Guns of Eld 19. I'm at FF Josh Hughes. You can check out our collective website at FSA-FR.com. That's it, boys. We're all underneath that window now. Check out FSA on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and don't forget about this YouTube, boys. Fantasy Sports Alliance. That's what FSA stands for. Check out the YouTube. We're over 100 subscribers. We'll go live there every Friday night and Sunday night as well. Not to mention, Average Bros will be on there on Tuesday, and FSA owner Brian will be there every Wednesday night. Check it out. You can't get enough of it. The Facebook, it's all on the screen right there at pre-FSA. Instagram is at FSA_FR. I mean, it's everywhere. YouTube Fantasy Sports Alliance. Come on, guys. It's right there under the clicker right now as we're talking. So check us out. This is what we're doing. This is what we're part of right now. One big happy family. We love you guys. We'll see you in a couple of days. And we hope that your fantasy weekend goes better than the entire year of 2020, which has been crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah, all right. Potato, tomato.
I'm number one.
He's not number one.
I'm still number one.
He is. He's number one. FSA. Just like how many likes we got. Number one.
Not in our dynasty league together.
Let's end this broadcast. All right, thanks.